2019 was the hardest year of my life, by far. I started the year off clinically depressed and I was still in denial about that illness. In hindsight, it's blatantly obvious that I really wasn't okay. I had completely isolated myself by January and I was really lonely. I hardly ever left my room, and when I did, I only got ready to keep up appearances so that people would think I'm okay, even though I really wasn't, because I really didn't want anyone to know that I wasn't okay. But I did notice that I wasn't okay, and I eventually asked for help. Admitting that you have a mental health problem can be scary, and I honestly thought that no one at my university would take me seriously. But instead of being told that it's not a big deal, I was told that I had my college's full support, and I really felt that support. Without my teachers, friends and family being supportive, I don't think I would have had the courage to take a break from my mental health from university. Taking a break is one of the best decisions I've ever made. People often think of others taking a mental health break as them just going on a break and miraculously being better afterwards. But taking a break is hard work. It means that you built up the courage to ask for help and you took the first step towards getting better. But then a lot of work actually begins. Therapy is hard work, but I can tell you, it's so worth it. Taking antidepressants, even though you're scared of the side effects that may affect your personality, is hard work. Forcing yourself out of bed is hard work. I'm a perfectionist and I therefore hold myself to very high standards. But 2019 taught me that things that may be objectively small can be really great achievements for people. I'm proud of myself for getting up on mornings where I really didn't feel like it. I'm proud of myself for getting ready and going to therapy, even though most of the times I really felt like I didn't want to go. I'm proud of myself for these things because they weren't easy, and I did my best, even though my best wasn't a lot at that point in time. Taking a break from university also meant coming clean about my mental health issue on social media. Before 2019, social media was a place for me where I tried to be perfect and I felt like I had to be. But having a mental health issue is far from perfect. I was really scared of telling everyone what was really going on, but I nonetheless did it. And I made a very honest and personal video about it. And instead of, the hate comments and lots of subscribers that I was expecting, the video is one of the most viewed videos on my channel, and its comment section has been an incredible source of support, and I never expected that to happen. Posting that video really helped me because it took away this pressure to be perfect. And I know that that pressure was self-created, but I still felt like I couldn't escape it. Being honest about my health on social media gave me much more meaningful conversations with my subscribers, and it has made my content more meaningful for me. It has really changed the way I treat social media, and I've kind of realized the more honesty you put in, the more honesty you get back. And I don't know, it's hard to explain, but in a way I think it has just made what I do on social media a lot more meaningful for me, and a lot less about what it looks like and a lot more about how it makes people feel. This experience has really changed the way I use social media. I used to use it as a place for perfection, but I've started to be a lot more honest. Even when things aren't going well or, they don't look pretty in an Instagram post. My Instagram feed no longer only consists of happy captions and perfectly photoshopped pictures. Instead, it is an honest feed with real captions about things that I'm actually feeling. And yeah, not every photo looks perfect and is greatly aligned with my feed, but it's honest, it's real. And I wish I had come across more real feeds when I was younger and I was looking at these things and I just thought everybody's so happy and I'm not. So I now try to post things that I wish my younger self had come across. My break from university wasn't just filled with focusing on getting better, it was also filled with preparing for my final exams. Because in order to get into the second year of my degree, I had to pass exams at the beginning of my second year, which were the exams from my first year, which I didn't sit because I took a break. To be honest, trying to figure yourself out and at the same time preparing for important exams wasn't easy. But I got through it and I passed my exams. The thing is, like, I didn't notice like how much this like weighed on me until I just read the email, because over the past few days I had a bit of this like fear that maybe I don't pass, you know, maybe I have to pack up my room, maybe I have to leave all my friends behind, and yeah, I don't know what I'd do then. I don't have a backup plan really. It was a fear, and I felt like, you know, over the past 2 days when I was in lectures, I felt a bit like undeserving, because everybody who was there, you know, they went through their exams and I was the only person who didn't know if she got through her exams. Passing those exams meant a lot to me, even though they were only pass-fail. Passing meant a lot more than I thought it would. It showed me that I had kind of earned my place at this university, something which I hadn't really felt like, because I was wondering whether the fact that I had to take a break maybe meant that I wasn't meant to be there, that I, you know, wasn't good enough, or that I just couldn't do it, and I wasn't really sure whether I deserved to be there. I honestly didn't think that I could pass. I was in a very negative state of mind during most of my break from uni, obviously because, you know, I was recovering from a mental health issue, and it just seemed impossible to pass these exams. So when I passed, it kind of showed me you can achieve more than you think you can. And that was a really, really great feeling, because I hadn't really believed in myself when I took these exams. Going back to university after taking a mental health break can be scary. I know it was for me. I wondered whether people would look at me differently, whether they would treat me differently because I took a mental health break. And I mean, I was very honest about that on social media. I made a video about my mental health, and it had been viewed tens of thousands of times by the time I went back to university. So it wasn't that unlikely that people had seen me cry. And that was a little bit scary and awkward. But it turns out I had seriously underestimated how amazing my friends are, and they didn't look at me any different. They didn't treat me any different. Just, you know, the way I was still part of the group and they still treated me like it, it showed me that they didn't look at me any different. And some of them have also told me that they really respect the fact that I had the courage to take that break. So thank you so much for being such great people. And it has shown me that, you know, it can be scary to do things like going back to university, but it can also be so worth it. Because when I went back for my second term, I just realized that I was different in the way I coped, in the way that I was actually enjoying my degree. And so it was worth it to take that break, and it was definitely worth it to go back. So although 2019 was tough, there were also some really good moments for me. 2019 was the year that I really learned to be comfortable in my own skin. I always used to be a skinny girl, and I've learned very early on in life that compliments like, "Wow, you're so skinny," really easily turn into, "You must be anorexic." And when you get told that over and over again, over years, it just makes you want to hide, because everybody just tells you, you look like an illness. And I don't know exactly why it really changed for me in 2019, but it did. And I've kind of learned to just not really care about my body size. I can't change the fact that I'm a small person, and I've always been skinny, and I'm still gonna keep eating whatever I want, And I've learned to tell people that my body is none of their business. I even filmed a lookbook, and that meant a lot to me because it included things like skinny jeans and a short skirt, and those things may not seem like a big deal to you, but they're a really big deal to me because I never wanted anybody to see my skinny legs because I didn't want them to point out how skinny they were. And I've kind of learned to stop caring what people think about me because my body size is not a defining attribute of me. And I'm done letting people tell me otherwise. When I returned to university, I also realized that I'd just become a much happier person. I smiled when I genuinely wanted to smile, and yes, I had moments where I was genuinely happy, and that was something I really hadn't felt in the university year before. So I just realized I'd gotten a lot better. The term was stressful, but I also realized that I was coping with stress. I wasn't, reacting with isolating myself and not being able to do my work, but instead I was actually dealing with it in a healthy way. My term ended with very positive reports from my teachers, something that neither I nor my teachers had expected. Basically, I've been told that, they didn't really expect me to do well. Which, I mean, I'm doing well now, so I guess I defied expectations, but I know that there may be a lot of people who go on intermission who are scared of that happening. So I just want you to know that just because people think you can't do well, that doesn't mean that you can't do well. That was a big reminder that other people's expectations don't define your abilities. This seemed like a great end to my year. A full arc of, starting really low but actually getting better. And I went home and I was honestly feeling great. But a few days ago, I found myself crying while my rabbit was dying in my arms. She had been with us for 10 years and she really meant the world to me. She's our little angel and I honestly can't believe that she's gone. I didn't really know how to cope with it, and I still don't really. And I'm far from being able to say that I've dealt with it. Her death has put into perspective how blessed I am with all the support I have from amazing friends, family, and teachers. But it has also left a massive hole in my life. It's the reason I'm not really looking forward to 2020, because I just really didn't want to do that without her. I kind of wish I could go back in time and hug her again. But if 2019 has taught me anything, it's that you grow a lot stronger when things get really tough. And I'm expecting it to get tough in 2020 because I'm still dealing with this loss and it's really hard for me. But 2019 has kind of given me the ability to believe that I will get through it even when I don't really see that happening. So I guess in a way I'm grateful to 2019 for teaching me that, even though it was really hard to learn that lesson. So 2019, you've been tough, really tough. And I heard a lot, but I also learned a lot in this year. 2020, please be kinder.